Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to the Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to the 12 Alvas. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome Lord Sriman Narayan in his form as Lord Sri Krishna to the Sri Narayan Dham situated here in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that are physically present at the Sri Narayan Dham. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. This is one of the most significant weeks in Sanatan Dharma, in Kaliyug, as it is in this week that the absolute science was revealed by the source of all sciences, Lord Sriman Narayan. It is in this week that the science for mankind was delivered in 700 verses in the Bhagavad Gita. And simultaneously, the storyline in which this science was enacted by the Supreme Lord was enacted in the epic called the Mahabharat. So for those, as I've stated earlier, that want to understand this supreme science through a story, one may read the Mahabharat. And for those selected few that would like to understand the Lord through the absolute science itself, then one may proceed to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Notwithstanding the fact that the Bhagavad Gita is encapsulated in a mere 700 verses, it is the cream of the Upanishads. The Bhagavad Gita, in a mere 700 verses, is the cream of the 108 Upanishads. And the 108 Upanishads is the cream of all Vedic knowledge. So if you understand the cream of the cream, Tana, daughter makes some nice creams, sweet, very sweet, okay? The cream is the best part of the cake, is it not? So similarly, the Bhagavad Gita is the best part of the Vedas because it is the cream of the cream. The Upanishads is the cream of all Vedic knowledge, and the Bhagavad Gita is the cream of the 108 Upanishads, which in essence mean that the Bhagavad Gita is the cream of the cream. Within these 700 verses, there is absolutely no contradiction. There is absolutely no contradiction, and there are various verses which are spoken to enable man to understand his life in the material universe and to understand how to stop this life in the material universe and extend it to the spiritual universe. The material universe has two extremes, pleasure and pain, desire and hatred, hot and cold, love and hate, whereas in the spiritual dimension there is only absolute bliss. So the Lord speaks the Bhagavad Gita so as to enable man to cross over from misery to bliss. And man can cross over in this lifetime itself. The journey begins with the human body. The journey of crossing over begins with the human body, which is specifically designed to cross over. And this crossing over only takes place on the earthly dimension. Above the earthly dimension, there are subtle dimensions, and below the earthly dimension, there are gross dimensions. The earth is the only dimension that is both subtle and gross. So the earth is the fire medium to go up or to go down. And the vehicle to go up or to go down is the human body. So the earth as a planet is the fire medium to go up and down, and the body is the fire medium that takes you up above the earth or below the earth. Above the earth are the heavenly planetary systems, and below the earth are the hellish or demonic planetary systems. Choice is always. And this is why the Lord is absolute. So the Lord cannot be blamed for any circumstances. Devashni is smiling. Why Devashni? Lord is blameless. Those that chose to be in satsang today are in satsang. Those that chose not to be in satsang are not in satsang. The choice is always yours. So a few years ago, when the Guru was doing 4 satsangs per week in 4 different locations, every satsang day the Guru will phone 40 or 50 people from each of the different locations. This is a reminder, satsang today. So on a Monday, the Guru will phone all those devotees from the Chatsworth branch. On Tuesday, the Guru will phone all the devotees from the Clare Estate branch. On Thursday, the Guru will phone all the devotees from the Reservoir branch. And which days we were in Phoenix? Thursdays. After Reservoir, then we started in Phoenix. We merged Clare Estate and Reservoir, and we started a branch in Phoenix. And then the Guru will phone all the devotees in Phoenix. Today the Guru do not phone anybody. The Guru don't care who comes or who doesn't come. The Guru is following the Lord. The Lord don't care who learns about him or who doesn't learn. And the Guru doesn't care, who comes to satsang, who doesn't come. The Guru doesn't phone. Because the choice is yes. But the Guru gives you a stream of knowledge continuously which should prick your conscience somewhere along the line and show you how important it is to attend satsang. And since inception, over 1,000 have crossed the path of the Guru in the past 7 years. Alright? And I'll explain why. There are 4 types of people that are merited to be a Vaishnavite. And to be a Vaishnavite is to be an aspirant or devotee of the Supreme Lord, Lord Sriman Narayan. And these 4 types of devotees have previous merits from previous lives to be devotees of the Supreme Lord. And as I've stated on numerous occasions, Sanatan Dharma is a science and not a religion, and in science everything has to be absolute. So I'm going to read a verse. If I'm speaking too fast, just slow me down. Because Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das has stated that he can't imagine how fast his own fingers are tapping. How fast is? He just sees a blur on his laptop. Okay? And he's now found a system where he misspells in this speed. He said there is something called autocorrect, which is linked to word. I listen to all these technical terms. After satsang, he explains to me, right? So in reality, I myself do not know all these cross things. But he said it's called autocorrect. So if he spells wrong, then he even has to press autocorrect quickly, and then the word is typed correctly. Because he has to post the satsang tonight from all the groups from around the world. So he has to work fast in this transcribing itself, and then he says he likes to tidy up. So he goes back and he tidies up. And for those of you that read these discourses, it's also on our WhatsApp group, then you will feel great pain for this bearded Swami Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das from Johannesburg. He lives alone. He cooks his own food. He gives a discourse himself. He sets the phone every Monday. Okay? And before he wanted to see himself on the phone whilst he was doing his discourse. So if you go a few Mondays back, you'll see Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das wanted to see the front of the phone. And then the clock behind him was looking upside down. And when he was doing Aarti, it was in reverse. So the Guru told him, Vishwadhar, do not be attached. Am I not teaching detachment? Turn the phone on its original side, find the right position for your Aarti and stand at the same place and do your discourse. So now you notice for the past 2 or 3 weeks, after taking Guru's advice, who does not know anything about technology, anything at all about technology, but taking Guru's advice on technology, Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das is not seen doing the arti from anti-clockwise, and his clock is not showing 20 past 4. Alright? That's Vishwadhara Ramanuj does. But he has a choice to edit when you get whacked or just leave it aside. He has a choice, okay? Coming back, I've stated there are 4 types, and I'm going to read, I'm going to quote Sodhana. If I'm speaking too fast, just some signal. So Vishwadhar still have fingers left. We need him for many years. Every time I try to get him a replacement, he had to replace the replacement, which means he cannot be replaced. So we need to preserve his fingers. Alright? Chapter 7, verse 16. 4 types of men of good deeds worship me, comma, O Arjuna, comma, these are the distressed, the seekers after knowledge, the wealth seekers, and the men of knowledge. So Vishwadhar already has a copy of this Bhagavad Gita stored somewhere on his system. So when I read this verse, all he will do is now copy and paste. Alright? So he has a few tricks up his technological sleeve. Alright? So as I've explained, men of good deed or deeds are people from a previous lifetime who is able to connect to the Lord in this lifetime, and they will attend satsang. They will attend satsang as they are distressed, they are seeking knowledge, and they are seeking wealth, and also satsang will be attended by men of knowledge already. Alright? And this we have proven as a lab. As I said, the Sri Narayan Dham is a lab, the Guru is the lab technician, and the aspirants are the students or learners. Okay? So those that were distressed, that came to satsang, and when the Guru removed their distress, their object of attending satsang was fulfilled. They left. Because they attended satsang in distress, and when the Guru removed the distress, there was no use of the Guru anymore. Those that came for wealth, when the Guru fulfilled that position in their life, then they did not need anything more from the Guru, because they came blinded only for a specific reason, but they are bona fide because they had these merits from a previous lifetime, so they had a right to attend the satsang of the Guru and receive these boons. Alright? And then they came, well, seekers after knowledge are just a handful, and they are still seeking knowledge in the satsang. And then we have those that are men of knowledge. Well, we didn't have any men of knowledge attend yet. Alright, but we have a few years to go. Then Lord Sri Krishna is stating in verse 17, and this is very important. Of these, the man of knowledge, comma, being ever with me in yoga and devoted to the one only, comma, is the foremost, semicolon, for I am very dear to the man of knowledge, and he too is dear to me. And this is very important to understand. It cannot be understood on its own. We have to understand it with chapter 4, chapter 4, verse 34. Know this by prostration, comma, questioning and by service. Full stop. The wise, comma, who have realized the truth, comma, will instruct you in knowledge. So in chapter 7, the Lord is stating that man who has knowledge is very dear to him, and vice versa. Man who has knowledge is dear to the Lord, and the Lord is dear to him. And I want to explain why. Ignorance is the division between man and the Lord. Ignorance is the division between man and Lord. Can you explore this scientifically? Is what I've stated now scientific? Ignorance, because you do not know who the Lord is, how to find the Lord, where to find the Lord, and when to find the Lord, you are ignorant, aren't you? But if you know how to find the Lord, where to find the Lord, then you are in knowledge. Now this ignorance have been trailing you in all your lifetimes. Can we surmise that? That in every lifetime of ours, we are eternal. Since time immemorial, we have been in ignorance. Can we surmise that? Yes. For had we not been in ignorance, then we would be with the Lord already. Can we surmise that? So as we are not with the Lord already, it means we have been perpetually in ignorance. Then the Lord, in this chapter and in this verse, the Lord is basically saying, for you to attain knowledge, you must prostrate to a bona fide spiritual master and ask questions through service. So the Lord is saying that you must find a guru who is self-realized and God-realized. By prostration means in surrender. And in yesterday's discourse, I stated that if a policeman pulls out his gun and tells you, hands up, from the moment the policeman tells you, hands up, then you are in police custody, aren't you? That means you lose your freedom. And you are now in police custody. you are in police custody, then the police handcuffs you. But I said in our society, generally the females need to be, I said, mouth cuffed. So the policeman handcuffs you, the guru mouth cuffs. Alright? And when the guru mouth cuffs Devashni, there is peace and harmony in every home. Isn't it? When you are in the custody of the guru, then you have lost your freedom. You have lost your freedom, like the prisoner that was arrested has lost his freedom and is now in custody of the law enforcement. Similarly, for you to be successful as a human being, you have to arrest your mind. You have to arrest your mind and allow this mind to go into the custody of the Guru. That is what by prostration means. And I'm going to explain why. The Guru, a bona fide spiritual master, continuously dispels transcendental knowledge. Sean, you hear for quite a few satsang. In every satsang you are hearing transcendental knowledge. Transcendental means knowledge that transcends the material universes. And anything that transcends the material universes is connected to universes outside the material dimension. And that is meant transcendental knowledge. So when the Guru sits on the Vyasasana, he gets connected to knowledge that is outside the material universe. So we only have two types of universes, material and spiritual. So transcendental knowledge is knowledge that is connected to the spiritual universe, and transcendental knowledge I want to start with verse 36, and Lord Sri Krishna is saying, okay, let's go to verse 35. After verse 34, you find a Guru, you prostrate, you serve the Guru, and serving the Guru does not mean, Devashni, going in the kitchen and preparing delicious meals whole day and giving the Guru tea, juice, chocolate, chips. Devashni, it means living within the parameters of the Guru's instructions. Serving the Guru means living within the parameters of the Guru's instructions. That is service to the Guru. Otherwise, every other action is useless. Dana, you agree? Giving me a cup of tea, Sean, and you go home and have a glass of whiskey.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. You understand? So serving the Guru means living within the parameters of the instructions of the Guru. So the next verse, Lord Sri Krishna gives further information. He states, knowing which, O Arjuna, you will not fall again into delusion in this way. By that knowledge, you will see all beings without exception in yourself and then in me. Okay? So it is this ignorance which is dividing you, the Guru, the Devis and Devtas, the plants and trees, the animals. It is ignorance that is making this division. Once you remove this ignorance, you will see every living entity as one, and that one is residing in the Lord itself. You will see the Lord pervading every living entity and every material entity. You will only see the pervasion of the Lord in all after this ignorance is removed. Then he further states in chapter 36, verse 36, and this goes for Dhana, even if you be the most sinful of all sinners, comma, you will cross over all sins by the boat of knowledge alone. Dhana, Sean is looking at you. One minute, look at it. Maybe you owe him an explanation in your lifetime how many sins you committed. Right? Not now, we are in lockdown. I think our time restriction is by 10 everyone must be home. If you start listening to Dhana, straight to jail. You'll be in the custody of the police instead of being in the custody of the Guru. Alright? Verse 37. But before, let's just concentrate a little bit more on verse 36. The Lord don't care who you are. The Lord does not judge you. The Lord gives everyone an equal opportunity, notwithstanding what your past is. If you follow this instruction, then no matter whatever sins you have committed and the balance of your sins that you brought from your previous life called karma, if you follow this system and attain this knowledge, then this knowledge proportionately wipes out your sins. Simply this transcendental knowledge which is beamed through the Guru from the spiritual atmosphere. From the spiritual atmosphere. And he qualifies, Lord Sri Krishna qualifies, just as burning fire turns fuel to ashes, comma, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge turn all karma to ashes. Who is stating this? So, who is stating that you must find a Guru, prostrate to a Guru, serve the Guru, and learn from the Guru? Who is stating this? From where is this order coming? Sean? From the Lord Himself. Then who is stating, just as burning fire turns fuel to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge turn all karma to ashes. And in the previous verse I read, you will never again fall into delusion. Delusion is ignorance, and if this ignorance is burnt by the fire of knowledge, you can never be ignorant again. Who is stating this? Who is giving you this guarantee? The Lord Himself. And in verse 38, Lord Sri Krishna states, for there is no purifier here equal to knowledge. Semicolon. He that is perfected in karma yoga finds this knowledge of his own accord in himself in due time. Okay? Verse 39. He who has faith, who is intent on it, and who has mastered his senses, attains knowledge. Having attained knowledge, comma, he goes soon to supreme peace. Okay? So I believe that instead of giving you the Mahabharat, the story form, it is important for you to know how to come out of this misery in scientific form. What do you believe? Can you see, Sean, how easy it is to change your dimension in life?
It makes you think about wanting to understand more, wanting more answers around it, you know?
Yes, because as you are given this human apparatus for self-inquiry. Only the human apparatus allows you to be analytical within. There are 8.4 million species, so there are 8.4 million body forms. Only the human form can analyze its life. The tree just has to remain as a tree. The ant just lives as an ant. Animals, insects, every other being maintains its status quo within that living period. But a human can change its status quo from being material to spiritual. And this apparatus, you can do a lot of soul searching. You know, you heard people saying soul searching. Yeah. Real soul searching is through the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, and if you are diligent, you will find your soul. So coming to satsang in distress, coming to satsang seeking wealth, coming to satsang seeking health. These prompt you to get into satsang. But once you are in satsang, health will be restored, wealth will be gained, distress will be obliterated. When all of these things are done, seek knowledge as well. So if you come for these three criteria, don't be like a horse with blinkers. Don't just look for what you came. That was an excuse for you to be. Once you are here, prick your ears like a dog. There's a sound somewhere, you see a dog's ear, pricks. When you hear the Guru speaking, prick your ears like a dog and assimilate all the knowledge that you are given. The assimilation of the knowledge will obliterate your ignorance and make you one with the Supreme Lord. Jai Sriman Narayan.